Offset, once a chart-topping superstar, is now allegedly so desperate that he's begging his ex-wife, Cardi B, for money, and what's being revealed behind the scenes is sending shockwaves through the entire industry. This isn't just breakup drama. This is a full-blown collapse. According to insiders, Offset didn't just reach out for help, he pleaded. Yes, pleaded. And when Cardi B realized just how bad things had gotten, her reaction was explosive. So explosive that parts of their private conversation have now allegedly leaked online. And what was said? No one was ready for it. We're talking about hidden debts, shocking financial demands, and a situation that's far worse than anyone imagined. But here's where it gets even darker. Because sources are now claiming this wasn't the first time. Meaning this situation didn't happen overnight. It's been building quietly, dangerously behind the scenes. So now the real question isn't just why Offset is asking for money. It's how he ended up here in the first place. And trust me, once you hear what happened next, everything you thought you knew about this story will completely change. To understand how Offset ended up in a position where he's allegedly begging Cardi B for money, you have to go back to when they were untouchable. Because once upon a time, they weren't just a couple, they were a cultural phenomenon. Every move they made went viral. Every appearance turned into headlines. And every moment of their relationship felt larger than life. From secret marriages to public breakups, from luxury gifts worth hundreds of thousands to emotional apologies broadcasted to millions, their relationship was never quiet. It was chaos, but it was controlled chaos. At least, that's what it looked like from the outside. Behind the scenes, insiders now claim things were very different. Because while Cardi B's career was exploding, breaking records, dominating charts, securing brand deals, Offset's situation was slowly starting to shift. At first, no one noticed. He was still part of BEGS, still performing, still surrounded by fame and money. But then things started to change. The group dynamic began to crack. Tensions grew. Projects slowed down. And suddenly, the machine that once printed millions wasn't moving the same way anymore. At the same time, Cardi wasn't just maintaining success. She was multiplying it. She became more than an artist. She became a business, a brand, a force. And with that came something powerful: leverage. Real leverage. And according to multiple insider sources, that shift completely changed the balance in their relationship. Because now, Cardi wasn't just the wife. She was the one in control. And for someone like Offset, who built his identity around success, power, and status, that shift reportedly didn't sit well. Arguments started becoming more frequent, not just about trust, but about money, about contribution, about who was really carrying the weight behind the scenes. And while fans saw the flashy side of their lives, the cars, the jewelry, the vacations, what they didn't see was the pressure building underneath all of it. Because maintaining that lifestyle, it doesn't slow down, even when the income does. And that's where things allegedly started getting dangerous. Sources claim Offset began making riskier financial moves, trying to keep up appearances, trying to maintain the image, trying to prove that nothing had changed. But something had, and Cardi could see it. There were moments, subtle at first, where she allegedly questioned certain decisions, where she started pulling back, where she became more protective of her own money, her own brand, her own future. And that's when the emotional distance reportedly started turning into something else: resentment. Because from Offset's perspective, insiders claim he felt like he had played a major role in Cardi's rise, that he had supported her early on, that he had opened doors. And now, in his mind, things had flipped. Now she had the power. Now she had the control. And according to sources, that created tension that never fully went away. Then came the breakups, the public statements, the social media explosions, each one more intense than the last. Fans thought it was just relationship drama, but behind the scenes, it was something deeper. Because every breakup wasn't just emotional, it was financial, assets, support, responsibilities, all being quietly negotiated while the public focused on the headlines. And then things got even more complicated, because reports began to surface that Offset was dealing with financial pressure. Not just small issues, but serious ones. The kind that don't go away easily. The kind that builds silently until it explodes. And, according to insiders, Cardi knew long before anyone else did. She saw the warning signs. She heard the conversations. She understood what was coming. But what she didn't expect was just how far things would go. Because, eventually, that pressure reached a breaking point. And when it did, Offset didn't turn to the public. He didn't go to friends. He didn't go to the industry. He went to Cardi. And what happened in that moment is what turned this entire situation into a full-blown scandal. Everything reportedly exploded on a night that was never supposed to matter. No cameras, no interviews, no headlines. Just a private moment between Offset and Cardi B that was meant to stay completely hidden. But it didn't, because somehow pieces of that conversation started leaking. At first, it was just whispers. Small accounts posting vague claims. Something crazy happened between Offset and Cardi. Money involved. Not what you think. Most people ignored it. Until the messages started circulating. Alleged screenshots. Voice note summaries. Claims from so-called insiders who said they were close to the situation. And what they were saying changed everything. According to multiple viral posts, Offset didn't reach out to Cardi for emotional support. He reached out because he needed money. Not later. Not eventually. Immediately. Sources claim his message wasn't casual. It wasn't calm. It was urgent. Desperate. One alleged line that spread across social media read, "I need help right now. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious." And that's when things took a turn. Because Cardi didn't respond right away. Minutes passed. Then hours. And, according to insiders, that silence made Offset panic. He called again, texted again, pushed harder, until finally, Cardi responded. And what came next? No one expected. Instead of sympathy, she fired back. Hard. Sources claim Cardi immediately questioned him. Where the money went, why he was in this position, and why he was coming to her instead of handling it himself. One alleged message that went viral said, "So, now you remember me when you need money?" And just like that, the tone shifted from concern to confrontation. Offset reportedly tried to explain. He brought up pressure, responsibilities, things people didn't understand. But Cardi wasn't buying it. According to insiders, she accused him of making reckless decisions behind the scenes, spending without thinking, trying to maintain a lifestyle that didn't match reality anymore. And then, the conversation escalated. Fast. Because Offset didn't back down. Instead, he pushed even harder. And that's when the first twist hit. According to multiple accounts, Offset didn't ask for a small loan. He didn't ask for a few thousand. He allegedly asked for millions. Yes, millions. The number wasn't confirmed, but insiders claim it was enough to immediately shock Cardi. And when she realized how serious the situation really was, everything changed. Sources say her response went from frustrated to furious, because in that moment, it wasn't just about money anymore. It was about trust, respect, and everything that had been building between them for years. Allegedly, Cardi snapped. She questioned everything, his decisions, his priorities, even his intentions. Why now? Why her? Why this amount? And that's when things got even more intense. Because Offset reportedly tried to flip the narrative. He reminded her of the past, of how he supported her, of how he was there during her early rise, of how, according to him, he played a role in building what she has today. And for a split second, it almost worked. But then Cardi fired back with something that shut everything down. According to viral leaks, she said, "You don't get to cash out now because you messed it up." And just like that, everything collapsed. The conversation reportedly turned into a full-blown argument. Voices raised, accusations flying, years of tension pouring out in a matter of minutes. And then, silence. No replies, no follow-ups, nothing. But here's where it gets even crazier, because just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, something leaked that no one saw coming. Something that didn't just confirm the situation. It exposed it on a whole new level. And once that hit the internet, there was no going back. just when it looked like the situation between Offset and Cardi B couldn't get any worse.
It did.
Because hours after that alleged argument went silent, a second leak hit the internet. And this one, it didn't just hint at problems. It exposed everything. A viral thread posted by an anonymous account claiming to have direct knowledge of the situation started spreading like wildfire. At first, people were skeptical, but then the details started lining up.
Dates,
locations, private conversations, and suddenly it didn't feel fake anymore. According to this so-called insider, Offset's situation wasn't just bad, it was spiraling.
Fast.
We're talking about hidden debts piling up behind the scenes, money going out faster than it was coming in, and a series of decisions that allegedly drained his finances to a breaking point. But the most shocking part? This wasn't new. The thread claimed that Offset had been struggling for months, quietly, privately, doing everything he could to keep it hidden from the public. And more importantly, from his image. Because to the outside world, nothing had changed. The lifestyle was still there. The appearances, the confidence, the persona. But behind the scenes, according to these claims, it was all starting to fall apart. And then came the detail that made everything explode. The insider alleged that this wasn't the first time Offset had gone to Cardi for money. Not even close. According to the thread, there had been multiple moments where he allegedly leaned on her financially. Private transfers, quiet support, help that was never meant to be seen.
Until now.
And when fans read that, social media erupted. Because suddenly, this wasn't just a one-time, desperate moment. This was a pattern. A hidden one. And people started connecting dots fast. Old interviews, old clips, old moments where Cardi seemed frustrated, distant, guarded. Everything started making sense in a way it never had before. But then, the situation took an even darker turn. Because according to a follow-up post from the same source, Cardi had finally reached her limit. No more help, no more support, no more money. She was done. And that decision may have triggered something nobody expected. Because shortly after those leaks went viral, another rumor started gaining traction. A dangerous one. It claimed that Offset wasn't just asking Cardi for money. He was under pressure. Real pressure. From people behind the scenes. Unverified names. Unclear connections. But according to the rumor, there were others involved. People who were pushing him, waiting on money, expecting something to be paid back. And if that's true, then this situation isn't just messy. It's risky. Because now the narrative shifts. This isn't just about a relationship breaking down. This isn't just about financial mistakes. This becomes something much bigger. Something that raises serious questions. Like, why was Offset so desperate? Why now? And what exactly was he dealing with that made him reach out like that? But here's the part that really shook the internet. Because just as these rumors started spreading, Offset went completely silent. No posts. No statements. Nothing. And that silence? It only made things worse. Because in today's world, silence doesn't calm things down. It fuels them. People started speculating, digging deeper, creating theories. Some claimed he was trying to figure out his next move. Others believed he was being advised to stay quiet. But a few, a very loud few, started asking a much darker question. Is there something even bigger that hasn't come out yet? Because if what's already leaked is this bad, then what's still hidden? And just when it felt like the story had reached its peak, the internet did what it always does. It chose sides. And what happened next? Turned this situation into a full-blown war. The moment those leaks started circulating, everything exploded. Within minutes, social media turned into a battlefield, and suddenly, everyone had something to say about Offset and Cardi B. It wasn't just trending, it was dominating. Timelines flooded. Comment sections went crazy, and hashtags started climbing faster than anyone could keep up. But what really made this situation dangerous was how divided people became. On one side, you had fans defending Offset. They argued that relationships aren't always perfect, that people go through rough times, that asking for help, especially from someone you were once married to, shouldn't automatically make you the villain. Posts started appearing saying things like, "Y'all acting like helping your partner is a crime? If roles were reversed, nobody would say a word. He stood by her once, now it's her turn." But then, there was the other side, and they were much louder. These were the fans who weren't buying it at all. They accused Offset of taking advantage, of making reckless decisions behind the scenes and expecting Cardi to clean it up, of turning love into a financial safety net. Tweets flooded in. "Cardi B is not your backup bank account. Millions? He asked for millions? That's insane. This ain't love, this is desperation." And just like that, the narrative started shifting. Because now, it wasn't just about what happened between them. It was about what it meant, about power, about independence, about whether Cardi had every right to walk away, or if she should have stepped in no matter what. Even bigger accounts started weighing in. Influencers, blog pages,
Commentators.
everyone wanted a piece of the story. And then came the industry reactions. At first, they were subtle. A like here, a cryptic tweet there, a vague Instagram story that didn't name names, but everyone knew exactly who it was about. One viral post read, "Some people don't want love, they want access." Another said, "When the money runs out, the truth comes out." Fans immediately started connecting those posts to Offset. Screenshots spread, speculation grew, and suddenly, it felt like the entire industry was quietly picking a side. Meanwhile, media outlets jumped in fast. Headlines started popping up everywhere. Offset's financial crisis exposed. Cardi B cuts him off after shocking request. Fans divided over viral money scandal. And with every new article, every new post, every new reaction, the pressure kept building. Because now, this wasn't private anymore. This was public, global, unavoidable. But just when it felt like the internet had made up its mind, a new layer of the story started creeping in. One that changed the tone completely. Because a small group of fans and some so-called insiders started pushing a different narrative. A darker one. They began questioning whether Offset was truly just asking for money, or if something else was going on behind the scenes. Something bigger. Something more serious. Posts started appearing saying, "Y'all don't know what he's dealing with. This might not be about greed, this might be about pressure." If half of these rumors are true, this situation is deeper than we think. And just like that, doubt entered the conversation. Because if there really were outside pressures, if there really were unseen forces pushing this situation, then everything people thought they knew might be wrong. And that's when the debate reached another level. Because now the question wasn't just, was Offset wrong? It became, what is he actually going through right now? And more importantly, what is he about to do next? Because one thing was becoming painfully clear. This story wasn't slowing down. It was building towards something. Something bigger. And just when people thought they had seen it all, a final piece of information surfaced. And this one, it changed everything. Just when it seemed like the internet had reached its breaking point. Just when it felt like every angle of the story had already been exposed. One final leak dropped. And this one, it didn't just add to the chaos. It flipped the entire narrative. According to a late-night insider report that started spreading rapidly across multiple platforms, Offset may not have been acting alone this entire time. Yes, you heard that right. The same sources now claim that there were people behind the scenes, unseen, unnamed, but very real, who had been pressuring him for money. Not just casually, not just occasionally, but consistently. And if that's true, then everything changes. Because suddenly, this isn't just a story about a man asking his ex-wife, Cardi B, for help. This becomes a story about pressure, influence, and possibly desperation driven by something much bigger than anyone realized. The rumor suggested that Offset wasn't just trying to fix his situation, he was trying to escape it. And that explains everything. The urgency, the repeated messages, the massive amount he allegedly asked for. It wasn't random. It wasn't careless. It was calculated and possibly forced. But here's where things get even more intense, because the same report claimed that Cardi didn't just say no. She allegedly warned him, told him to figure it out before things got worse. And that response might have been the moment everything truly collapsed, because right after that, Offset went completely silent. No posts, no reactions, no denial, nothing. And that silence, it's what has the internet
On edge right now.
because people are starting to ask a new question, a much more dangerous one. What is he planning next? Some believe he's preparing to finally speak out, to drop his side of the story, to expose what really happened behind closed doors. Others think he's being advised to stay quiet, to let the storm pass. But then there's a third theory, and it's the one that's spreading the fastest, that this situation isn't over, not even close, that something bigger is coming, something that could completely shift the narrative overnight. Because if Offset really does break his silence, if he really does reveal what's been happening behind the scenes, then everything we've heard so far could just be the beginning. And let's be real for a second, in situations like this, there's always more. More secrets, more pressure, more truth waiting to come out. So now we're left with one final question. Is this the end of the story? Or is this just the calm before something even bigger explodes? Because one thing is certain, whatever happens next, the entire world will be watching. So now the question goes straight to you. Do you believe this entire situation between Offset and Cardi B is really just about money? Or is there something much deeper happening behind the scenes? Was Offset truly desperate enough to ask for millions? Or is he being pushed into a situation we don't fully understand yet? And more importantly, did Cardi B make the right decision by stepping back? Or should she have helped no matter what was going on? Because this isn't just celebrity drama anymore. This is a story about pressure, power, and survival. And the truth is, we are only seeing one side of it. If Offset breaks his silence next, everything could change overnight. So drop your opinion in the comments right now, because this debate is getting bigger every second. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because if another leak drops, if another message gets exposed, or if Offset finally speaks, you're going to hear it here first. And trust me, this story is far from over.